All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back. Hang tight, hang tight. I'm just trying to get everything situated again in between all these damn games that are going on. All these damn beautiful StarCraft games. They're just so damn beautiful because we are in the grand finals. Starting down here at the bottom left side for ISG, it is going to be our green Protoss. Never giving up, never breaking down. It is Kapach. And on the other side of the map, it is the South American baller nerd. Epic Zerg. Just absolutely dominating, destroying nerds. Taking names, chewing bubblegum, kicking ass, and all that other stuff. It is killer. And let's see if he could kill his opponent. go from an epic intro to a lame, just kind of a joke. Let's see if he can kill let's see if Killer can kill his opponent. All right, welcome in, guys. If you guys are just tuning in, I am Cheesehead Logic for Team Empire here at the Vasacast South American Invitational Qualifier. Winner goes on to the Grand Finals as part of their selected roster of, I think it's 16 players, if I'm not mistaken, 16 or 15. I think it's 16 to be exact. Again, he's going to be joining big names like Demaga, Koss, oh god, who else? Demaga, Star Eagle, Lucifron, Vortex, Zeum, and Snoot, and a bunch of other players. I can't remember the full entire roster list. I'll need to pull it up here in the future to tell you guys, and kind of in between breaks here if I get a shot. Another PvZ again, game number 3. We're all tied 1-1. If Killer wins right now, if Killer wins this series, it is all over. Grand Finals winner will be Killer and his invite. If Killer does lose this series, we're going to have another best of 3. For those who don't know, this is going to be a best of 5 Grand Finals. So if he does in fact lose, then we will go to another best of 3. Yay! I know, right? It was just like, for the people that have watched for the past few days, I know everybody in their head is just like, do you know how many PvZs we saw, dude? Oh my god, are you kidding me? How are we even going to continue on like that? So, yeah, again, but you kind of get used to it with all these tournaments again. I guess, it's fair now. I guess it's fair now, since everybody in 2010 and 2011, all we saw was Terrans playing TNZs and TVTs, so all the Protoss and all the Zergs are just like hot payback. Now you get to watch a year and a half of just consistent PvPs and ZVZs, man, and ZVPs. No Terrans to speak of. Now, this is a little bit of an interesting already change up. As we see, we got actually a hatch getting taken over here at the 4th location, and Kapach does spot it, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Yeah, he does spot it, so he could actually cannon this bad boy up without any issues at all. He's actually going over here to the top left just to double check in case. No true real reason behind it, so he should at least probably put up a couple, should try to put up a pylon or something like that. I don't understand. I guess he's just trying to hide this as best as he possibly can. As best as he possibly can. Next is going down right now. Should be finished up very soon. I'm really hoping that we see something kind of fun out of this map. Once in a while we do see some proxy play. I'm still waiting for the game where we see DTs, man. Throughout this whole entire tournament, I swear I have not seen DTs, and I would really love to. Of course, if anybody watched Pro League the other night, it was actually really hilarious watching Hero versus oh, who the hell did he play? No, it wasn't Hero. It was JYP and somebody else, and they went proxy DT, and it was funny because it was, where was it at? It was like right over here. Yeah, it was like something like this. It was like kind of one of these scenarios where one guy's proxy DTs were right here, like his Dark Shrine was proxied right here, and the other guy's proxy DTs were like right here, and they couldn't see each other, but they were proxied right next to each other. It was freaking hilarious. We were all watching the game in a Skype call with my university teammates, and it was freaking hilarious. We were just dying of laughter. We were just like, how is this even possible? But hey, man can be hopeful to see some dark Templars. Now, how this game is, I am a little bit worried again. Anytime a Zerg takes a very early hatchery that's way out of its comfort zone, aka between its kind of main natural and third, it's very vulnerable to put a base this early out into the open. So we're going to pay attention to that and see how much of a focus that's going to be for. We're going to see how much that's going to be a focus for Kapach to go harass and to attack as soon as possible. Double checking, everybody's looking good. Looks like Twitch chat is working. Epic. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I know we're losing a few viewers. I know some of the Russians are going to bed. Some of the Russians are just like, damn it, PvZ again. Literally, like some of them are just in chat, just like, damn it, PvZ again. What are we going to do? Link coming up here into the third, making sure that there's no quick third expansion, which would be a little bit odd. I mean, only once in a while we do see some Protoss get very, very confident and take like a 6, 7 minute, 8 minute third. And you know, actually, with with this type of map, I would almost expect a third base. It's very easy for a Protoss player to hold. We actually haven't seen this map utilized a lot in these PvZs, which I'm really surprised because I know Protoss really usually adore it. They want to take down the rocks, put up a couple gates and a couple cannons, and they're completely walled off, sitting on 3 base economy, and just kind of just sitting there, just like, you know, just working their hands together. And they get their big 3 base combination of Colossus, Zealot, Templar, Archon, Stalker, Sentry, God, name what you want, and even some of them go really fast motherships. So again, it's just all preference on what they like to do. Now, what we got going over here in this game, we got a little bit of an early gate aggression coming up. It looks like 6 gate? 7 gate. It looks like 7 gate, but he hasn't formed the 7th gate yet into a warp gate. But we're doing a wonderful job already catching a lot of these forward proxy pylons, already getting them out of the way, forcing a lot of cancels on them. So Kapach, his production is kind of a little bit delayed. And you guys are saying, well, it's not too bad. He's got a lot of minerals. Well, that's not really the point. The point is he needs to warp in units right away. That way his next warp in production cycle starts, and that way you could warp in as soon as you can possibly. Again, if he delays the warp ins, it's going to give more time for Killer to get his defenses out. And now the speed has finished up. Speed is finished up. 8 additional roaches are underway. 8 additional roaches are underway, and he's losing a lot of these stalkers very, very early before he should probably even lose them. Killer's doing a wonderful job of holding this. Oh my god, this is just completely insane how well this has been held, and of course he'll just kind of back up just kind of for the time being, and he's actually clearing all the zealots out of the way because Killer just, man, pure confidence right now, just pushing this back as best as he possibly can, taking out that last forward pylon, so no more additional reinforcements right then and there. And then, of course, the 20 some odd lings that are just forming right now going to chase the rest of these stalkers across the map. Now, what does he have for defenses back here? Not a lot to speak of. He doesn't have a lot of gas either, so he's only going to be able to get a couple sentry warp-ins if he plans to hold this off like with force fields. So overall, Killer has to be actually absolutely ecstatic and happy as he can possibly be. He just needs to sit back, get lair, drone up. He is looking good. He's looking good. His opponent tried to hit him with an early gate aggression, spent a lot of economy on that, and unfortunately was not able to get it done. Didn't have, as I see the Robo facility, he did not have the robotics facility, so he didn't have any capability on the backside to transition to Colossus or anything crazy like that. So yeah, just kind of what it is. Now, of course, taking down the rocks really quick over to the 3rd, and Killer's going to have a very, very nice, safely positioned 4th over here at the normal 3rd base location. Meanwhile, Kapach is going to try to attempt to transition. He's going to get the gates up in here, like I mentioned earlier, going to get gates, some photon cannons, and just attempt to kind of dig his way, crawl his way back into this game through the macro end, try to get, you know, higher tech, better upgrades, Archons, Templars, motherships, maybe, who knows, man, we'll see. And this is exactly what I was talking about right here, this wall off. I love this SimCity. It's so nice for Protoss to utilize. Put a cannon up or two, you are basically safe. You get your free card, your free defensive card. Nothing ever to worry about. Meanwhile, backside over here for Killer, again, he's getting his double Evo chambers to get his double upgrades. They are kind of a little bit delayed, but, you know, sometimes it is necessary to sacrifice tech upgrades and economy to be able to hold some aggressive pushes. In this regard, it worked out very, very well for Killer. Getting his infestation pit, which of course is going to allow him also as well to get his hive very, very soon. Getting as well also the 4th hatch up and running. And I mean, even at this point, depending on his comfort level, he could potentially even grab a 5th one. I know some Zergs do like to play just a little bit very aggressive on that side, on the macro end of the games. And I mean, they can kind of get away with it. I mean, it's not like realistically right now Kapach could push out with this army and win the game. He would have a lot of issues. I mean, there's already infestation pit done. Pathogen glands is underway, and he's moving out. Oh my god, I can't believe he's doing this again. Now, this could be a complete fake out where he just kind of shows like he's moving out and then just goes back in or sits around his natural. Because some of you guys don't know, if you kill a unit or something like that, it takes like maybe about like another half a second or so for the actual vision to disappear over here. So yeah, that's exactly what he did, playing a little bit of mind games. And look at that, that forced actually 28 lings out. That little move out killed that ling. That forced 28 lings out right then and there. So that was well worth it just for that little fake. But again, I mean, hey, Killer's just like, well, I might as well need them anyways, right? Might as well need them anyways. Back here into the main, starting the Spire and the high tech, so this is going to time out really well as the Spire finishes. He's going to be able to, and the high finishes up, he's going to be able to get Corruptors, meanwhile also getting his greater Spire up as well. Transitioning into that wonderful late game composition that we see a lot of Zergs love to utilize. The Broodlord, the Infestor, the Corruptor, and the Infestor, and the Infestor, and the Infestor, and the other Infestor, and all the other 10 Infestors. So, they, you typically Zergs, love to use Infestors. It's so funny. I'll try to post a little bit of a funny link after this game because it's kind of like one of those. It's kind of like one of those things, like a dad walk. I can't remember what it was. It was like the little 4-box cartoon where like the dad walks in on his son playing on the computer. He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing, son? Are you playing that Are you playing that Babby race again?" It's so hilarious. Are you playing that Babby race again? And the son's just like, "No, this is an intellectual race, blah, 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 blah." He's just like, "Here, Dad, take a look." And it's just like a big pack of infestors. The dad looks pissed off as hell. It's the most hilarious little cartoon ever. Every time I see it, I just die on the inside. Now, big push coming across the map. Now, this is kind of hitting at a little bit of an interesting timing. There's not a lot of infestors out on the map just yet. 3 more about to pop out. This is going to be kind of tricky to hold off, so he's got to be very careful, doing a good job trying to flank it from all the angles that he possibly can, but he's got to be very cautious about its control. Make sure he's got to hit as many fungals as he can. The big part, if he could focus a lot of the fungals right here where the zealots, the sentries are. If you could take those out of the composition, that's going to be a big little bit of a miniature win, if you want to call it, for him, because no more Guardian Shield, no more force fields, and that's what's really keeping this alive. The Guardian Shields with the extra energy and the extra armor and shields is kind of been kind of the might, I guess, if you want to call it the might, the strength, the big stuff for our Protoss player. Now, get those infestors on out of their control really well. Start repositioning a couple spine crawlers as he's attempting to, and at this point, just, man, I guess if you want, sack the 4th hatch. If you're able to hold this off, get a couple fungals, get all the roaches on in there. It's actually going to be a little bit more worth it for you to do that in the end. Now, wow, I can't actually believe I'm saying this, but Kapach might be capable of breaking through this. It's tough to tell because he is losing quite a few units, but again, a lot of the production, a lot of the army is already lost for a killer, so, and he's already lower on supply than his opponent. Let's take a look really quick at these epic immortals with 21 kills. 22 kills gets dropped, the other one with 11. 4th hatch goes down for killer, well, technically his 3rd. And yeah, this is interesting, man. I mean, wow, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it looks like Kapach is in position to potentially win, man. I really thought Killer had a hold of this game, had a grasp of it, but I guess just was not expecting a big push like this coming across the map. Now, this is a little bit, tiny bit easier to hold if you want to